Hello. Good morning. Marietta here, back with another video. I had to come down here, y'all, and check the mail down here in this country. See this country road down here? And I got myself a new handheld tripod, y'all. I'm trying it out too as I move around. And I can move around with it, and I'm just loving how it's taking colorful pictures and colorful bright. Ain't that beautiful? And I can hold it in my hand as I walk, and I can do a video as I'm coming down this old country sidewalk of mine. But I thought I would get on here and I want to talk to y'all about owning your own land and still not being able to do what you think you're supposed to do with it. Like a lot of times we think because we own our own land, we go out and buy this land, that means we can do what we want to do on it. We can build what we want. We can put what we want on it. We can invite who we want to it. And we can do what we want to do. To a certain extent, but you still have rules and regulations that you have to follow, even though you own the land. Even though you bought your land, you still have rules and regulations you have to follow. Such as right now when we're talking about the camper situation, the RV situation, the homeless situation, and things of that nature, as far as having people parking RVs on your property and being able to sleep in these places and be able to call it home and things of that nature. Some places will allow this, and then you got some states that will not even allow you to do so due to rules and regulations. Each state has its own rules and regulations, so before you get yourself into any trouble, it's best for you to find out exactly what you can and what you can't do. Is there any permits that need to have to be taken into consideration? How long these people plan on being on your property? How do you plan to hook them up to sewage and water and things of that nature when you start putting people on these property? And a lot of people say, well, it's not in the city, it's in the country. Well, you don't want to be held liable for things that even happen in the country. It's better you know the rules and regulations before you get yourself in any trouble, because you also don't want to be a prisoner to wondering when they're going to come knock on your door and tell you that these people have to move, and you get yourself in some trouble. Because, see, I know for a fact that every now and then they'll send drones up in the air. Somebody will do a survey of the area, see what's going on, see how many buildings you got on your property. Because even when I came here, even though I bought the property with the buildings on them, I still went to the county to make sure that all of these buildings were zoned properly and that they were supposed to be on this piece of property. Because I wanted to make sure that I knew without a shadow of a doubt that everything was put here legally, and it was. So you really got to do things by the book, because, see, you don't know who's watching you, what neighbor might be jealous of what you got going on. And people sometimes will pick up the phone and call and report what's happening, especially if it becomes an eyesore, especially if they got these campers hooked up and they leaving trash all on the outside of them, or they making a lot of noise late night, or they creating a disturbance of any kind. People will actually call in on you, and they will send somebody out to investigate your living conditions. And you might say, well, it's my property. They ain't got no right. They better not come out here bothering me. But yet and still, if you're breaking the law, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that you didn't do your homework? Whose fault is that? And I understand trying to help people, because I would love to help some folks too. And in the meantime, right now, people are truly looking for places to park their RVs and things of that nature, and looking for people that will be able to help in these trying times and be able to help them, because you know they got to get these RVs off the street. And then you yourself, you don't want something parked in your yard that's an eyesore or don't move, or if you have to move it for any reason, it's just stuck there. And now not only are you stuck with the people, you're stuck with that RV there, or you may be, as the homeowner, you may be having to figure out how to move it, because they may not have the money to move it. Then what happens then? What happens then when you're stuck with that responsibility yourself and you don't have the money to move it? Now you got to look at that eyesore in your yard. Hold on. And right now it's like 83 degrees outside. 83 degrees. right now. And it's supposed to be going to 90 something. So I'm going to walk over here because I just wanted to come outside and get some air. And I wanted to talk about the land and how we use our land and what rights do we have with our land. And the fact that just because you go and buy land does not mean that you're able to do anything and everything that you want to do with that land. You still have rules and regulations you have to follow. You have to follow zoning. You have to make sure that you're doing things by the book so that you don't have to worry about people reporting you. I'm standing in a shady spot, y'all. It feels good right here in this spot. Reporting you. And then how many people do you plan to put out there? Because, you know, sometimes you may have family, and family may come in with an RV. I may have family that may come down here and they may park an RV on the property and they may live in it for a little while because they visited me 2 weeks, 3 weeks or whatever. And I don't want to have nobody coming over here telling me my family can't park their vehicle in my yard when they done came to visit me and they done came from afar. And I've checked into it already, and then I know that it's okay and I know that I'm able. But if you're buying raw land or whatever and you putting RVs on the land, now they're trying to block us in any way, shape, or form they can. So you got to do things by the book. You got to do things by the book, y'all. You just got to. You just got to. Unless you way out there in the middle of the jungle somewhere, you got to do things by the book. Because, see, I'm not in a development, but I do have neighbors that live close to me. So, therefore, I wanted to go to zoning to make sure what I could do and what I could not do. And they said both of my buildings were zoned for this yard. And the buildings, I could do whatever I want in these buildings because they're my buildings and because I'm so far out in the country. That's what they told me. That's what they told me when I went there. And I just use mine for regular storage anyway. But it's just the point. It's just a point. If I want to take this very same big building I'm standing beside and I want to turn it into a house and things of that nature, then I might have to acquire some permits or something of that nature. Because like I told you, there's no water in this big building. This building is just a storage unit. So I just feel as though when I look at the land, I thank God for all the land that God has given me. I thank God for Him giving me a place to go. But where it comes down to actually inviting strangers to the yard and you don't know them, but you're trying to help, and you trying to help people get off the street, and then you got people telling you that that's something that you cannot do, or it's something that is not allowed in your area, not allowed in your neighborhood, not allowed in your neck of the woods, and that your area is not zoned for that, and that place, whatever building you put up there, you got to get permits and have it permitted for that piece of property before you start putting in electrical outlets and putting in a sewage for this RV that is not a house. So they're not considering it a house because it is an RV. So you might say, well, it's not an RV. It's just an RV. I'm just parking it there. So, but you might be just parking it there, and then they tell you that they're going to keep an eye on you, believe me, first and foremost, to make sure that you're actually not living in it. And if they find out that you're living in it and they done told you that it should not be there, it cannot be there, and they're not going to be there for a certain length of time, then you want to make sure you stay within the guidelines. That's all I know. So if anybody know anything different about that situation, type it in the comments. Because, you know, we live in a time now where a lot of us do want to help other people. But in the midst of us helping other people, we don't want to cause ourselves no harm. Because, see, we want to help from a full cup. And now we want our cup running over. And we want to help from the overflow. We want to help from the overflow. But we do not want to get in a place where we have to empty our own cup in order to help somebody else, because that's not going to help nobody. That's going to put you in jeopardy, put your family in jeopardy, put you and your kids outdoors, and then you won't understand exactly why nobody's coming to help you. Because a lot of times, now y'all know this is exactly what happens. You'll reach out there to help people, and then when you look around, there's nobody there to help you. So make sure that when you're out here helping, that you are helping from an overflow. You're helping from abundance. You're helping from more than enough. You're not helping from what little bit that you have and what you need to keep your family afloat. And if that means that the county says that nobody can park on your property with RVs and they can't live on them RVs, and these squatters can't just squat anywhere they want to and do what they want to do, then it's best that you abide by the rules and move quietly. Move quietly. Move quietly. Because this trouble is easy to get into, but it's hard to get out of. And right now, ain't nobody got no extra money to be wasting to pay no fines and all that kind of stuff. And you don't want to invite trouble to your yard when you look up and you got the sheriff coming to your yard all the time, or whoever comes to do that eviction to put them off the yard. You got them coming to, or you can look up and you got a court paper stuck in your door where you got to go to court for situations that should not even have to be if you just take your time to do your homework and abide by the rules. That's all I'm trying to say. Just abide by the rules and get the information that you need from your county office and see exactly what it is you can do and can't do. Because truly, wanting to help somebody right now in this time is the most beautiful thing a person can do. It's almost like paying it forward, because you want to help somebody. You want to be there. You may have more than enough land to help somebody, and that's a beautiful thing to want to do. But just do it properly. Do it the way it's supposed to be done. Don't put yourself in no trouble. Don't stress your own self out. Don't stress that person out by inviting them and then they have to move again. Because like I said, when we're looking at things now, we got to do things, and we got to do things to where it's cost efficient, cost effective, where it's not going to cost us a whole lot of money and put us in a whole lot of debt and cause us to spend a lot of money that we don't have at this time. Right now, everybody is spending reserve. Everybody is spending on borrowed time. Everybody is spending from a place of survival. So you want to spend as less as possible to do what you got to do to get the best result as possible. And I really believe that helping somebody, giving them a place to stay, giving them a place to be, is important. But make sure you know what you're doing, and make sure you know who you're inviting. You also don't want to invite no trouble to your house at all. Make sure you do your homework. Make sure you investigate the situation. Make sure you know who you putting on your property, and make sure that you've given them their, as they say, there are rules and regulations if you got to write a police. Make sure you do things the right way. Don't go in there in that situation saying, oh, it's just okay. No, it's not okay. You got to do things proper, decent order. Because let me tell you something, what I do know. Those ones that claim to love you, those ones that claim to be there for you, those ones that plan, that tell you they're going to ride with you till the wheels roll off. Those the ones that will mistreat you. Those the ones that will dog you out. Those the ones that take you right down through there, and you'll end up in court trying to figure out how to get these folks off your property. So be safe. Be a blessing, yes. If you can be a blessing, always be a blessing to someone else. That's God's will for our life, that we learn how to be a blessing. We learn how to share, and we learn how to put the word to work. But in the same respect, be careful. Because everybody with closed eyes, everything kneeling ain't praying. Everything that closed eyes ain't praying. So don't look at it like, oh, they made children of God. They just got saved when they met you. Some of them will just tell you that just because they know that's what plays on your heartstrings. If I tell her I'm saved, she'll just let me do anything. If I tell him I'm saved, he'll give me anything. Don't allow that to be your motivation, just because. Make sure you do your homework. Make sure you do your investigations. Make sure you know exactly who and what you're putting on your property. But at all costs, make sure you protect your rights for your land. And then just enjoy your space. That's all it is. That's all I got for this video, and I just hope that it helps somebody. And I just pray that you understand that the rules and regulations have to be followed no matter what state you're in. Do your own homework and move accordingly. Be blessed. If and so you've not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if and so you've not turned your notification bells on, turn your notification bells on at this time so that you will be notified when I drop my next video. Y'all be blessed.